Conditioning is impregnated in every part of the body. And the conditioning has caused all kind of problems. But today I want to talk to you that we should become conscious to yourself. And if you take the intellectual mind and become totally conscious of that your conditioning will start becoming less and less. And you will get to the intuition. And you will get to the body that is the instinct. And that is living in the present. But is already conditioned. Because my father learned it in 1941, before marriage, the mind is a heap of impression and the body is a heap of food. And I tell you, we have to become, he was totally conscious. He was living moment to moment. And he was a watcher. And that's what everybody should be. And to become a watcher, that's how you become conscious. And if you become conscious, then you have to become compassion. And that's a feeling. And that's what I am. I'm totally conscious and I have a compassion that I love everybody. And on top of that, it produces action. And that's a creativity. And that Michelangelo in the past and Da Vinci, they produced actions. And we are going to produce the actions now because they're gone. Now we are living in the, because I'm going to India on 23rd of April. And I've been living there for 2 months. And we're going to rent what we call a koti, so that we can treat people with a prostate problem. And that is we are teaching them to become totally conscious and totally compassionate to themselves and totally become a creative. And I will request every one of them to read Osho so they can understand that, how they can become consciousness and compassion and the creativity which is there, which they have to do it, because that is the way they are all. We are born with that. And Osho was a great source. And my father, he lived in the present and he taught me everything. And I love him. And I love Osho, but he is gone now. So everybody has to become totally conscious and a creative and compassion, and become a really what we call, that's a feeling that you become nice to everybody. You don't hurt nobody. Even they are mad to you, but you don't hurt anybody. You should love everybody because that's what nature does. And then the creation, which we're going to create in India, because we're going to open a prostate institution. And the prostate institution will provide them service for that, for instance, to give you an example. And that's a total creativity, because people don't need even a cystoscope examination. Because the phallus is so long that the people in the United States are doing the cystoscope examination. And the urology surgery, urology specialty was started in 1910. But India, 1979. So you can see the difference in the years. And really people don't even need, because this body is totally orgasmic. It has to be, because the prostatitis, prostatic enlargement, and prostatic cancer, they all has to be treated what you call with abdominal pumping and interlocking, and which I have talked about previously. Because now I found out that in 2024 there are about 90,000 robotic prostatectomy has been done, and there's literally a Medicare crime, and it's a felony. But if they would have discussed that with the people, what you call with the person itself, and they should have involved the family doctor and also the psychiatrist and maybe the wife also at the same time, they would have not done that surgery. But unfortunately, they're all conditioned. The doctors are conditioned and the human beings are conditioned. And that's why the surgery, and we are not going to do that. We are not going to do no surgery at all. We are not going to do even a cystoscope examination unless really it is indicated. And we are not going to get any sectoscoping done, which I have done in the past, many of them. And we will basically treat people with a catheter, with what you call a urethral catheter, indwelling catheter, or we will put a suprapubic tube if possible, if we have to put it, but we won't even need that also. But we will do all the testing so they can understand that. We will put them on a proper diet. that is a polarizing diet, which is also in another book, and we will also pull them to become totally conscious and compassion and become creative to themselves so they can heal themselves, because every cell of the body is the total body is orgasmic, and every cell, every time, body, everything, the imagination, if you imagine yourself, that body is producing what we call a vascular endothelium growth factor that is happening every second, and that's what's going to produce the healing of the prostate cancer and the prostate enlargement, and also even the prostatitis. That will take care of itself, and because I will teach them that that is called the endothelium growth factor is happening every second in our body. Now, what we're going to do with the creative part of that is that we're going to make a battery there that is special battery, and that is called the nuclear battery. And we're going to make a nuclear battery in India so that people can run all their electricity, people can run the elevators, people can run the aeroplanes, and people can do all kind of things instead of having a war, because war is nothing but a conditioning. It's all conditioning, and that's what's happening in Bangladesh. That's what's happening in Indonesia, and the Palki Sharma, who is a great source, but she's totally conditioned, and she's only giving the news, and that's what they're fighting. They're trying to fight, and they should not fight, because if they become conscious, there should be no wars, and that's what should be. And this is all conditioning. This is all conditioning. But we have to become totally unconditional to ourselves, because the nature, the existence is totally unconditional, because that's all the plants, all the trees, all the birds, all the animals, and on top of that, the ocean and on the mountain, they're all unconditional. And that's where a person should be. I am totally unconditional to myself. And I tell you that I will be the next governor of United States, because this is one of the best countries in the world, because I'll become the governor in 2026, and we will wake up the people so they are wake up to themselves, they are alive to themselves, and they are alert. On top of that, we are alone. We come alone, we go alone, and we should have a total awareness to ourselves, and that's the way we should live. Because the only way, if we live that way, that we are totally awake and we are totally alive, and we are what we call alert and alone, that is alone and awareness, then we can be very happy, and we can be totally conscious to ourselves, and we can be conscious and compassion and creative. And that's what we have to do. And that's every person who is sick there, they have to create it to themselves so they can heal themselves totally from the prostate and from the heart disease and from the diabetes, any other disease, so they don't get any surgery done. Because there are about more than 200 medical colleges. They are in the they are the homeopathic colleges, and there are also what we call that Ayurvedic colleges, which is about 400, and there are about 800 colleges which is regular, what we call the allopathic colleges. Unfortunately, that is the conditioning, and this is all conditioning which has come from the what we call from the West, and everybody learn how to close their eyes and close themselves and become totally become what we call look inside and look. That Jesus Christ said that Jesus Christ said the kingdom of heaven is inside. So the kingdom of heaven is inside. It is just like a medicine, because the meditation is, which I will teach to all these people, because that's what meditation is. That is it is not a concentration, it is not a contemplation, it is not even a mindfulness, it is the awakening to yourself, and that is alive to yourself, and that is what is called the total consciousness, and that is the compassion and the creativity, that way they can heal themselves. And I have to make sure that everybody love each other, because we should, even our enemy, we should love them, because we should not hate anybody, because that's what the existence is. The existence is always living in the present, and we should respect the existence. And my Father always lives in the present, and that's what we should be there doing that. And we should be happy and healthy, and I love everybody, and God bless everybody, and we should respect everybody, and we should be kind to everybody, and we should be honest to everybody. On top of that, we should be honest to ourselves, and we should not hurt nobody. And I love you all.